Hello, everyone. Welcome to the history of Nick Jr. Here we go. In the year, a long time ago, there was this channel called Nick Jr. that first appeared. It only had one obscure original that no one even talks about, and now it's a lost media show. Some of the episodes have been found. But luckily, two other shows came out better than that. A couple of years later, Nick Jr. made shows based on books. But one day, Nick Jr. hit the jackpot with a show called Blue's Clues, which bunches of people watched in their childhood. Mine too. I loved it when I was a kid. It was one of the first shows I ever watched, next to Dora. One day, a man named Bill Cosby comes to Nick Jr. and gave him a show called Little Bill, based on his life. But a decade later, the show got banned due to bad behavior. I'm not going to talk about that bad behavior. Anyways, Nick Jr. was looking at their father's new show, SpongeBob SquarePants. They decided to make their own version, but with girl and a monkey. The show will be called Dora the Explorer, which will last a long time. And they also got another new show called Bob the Builder. One day, they had to pick one of these originals for their next show. One was called Superman and one was called Oswald. Do you know what they picked? Oswald. Now they have bunches of originals. But sadly, they had to give Little Bear the boot. But thankfully, they got a new show called Max and Ruby. One day, a channel named Noggin came to Nick Jr. to share some of their originals with them. And also along with two new mascots named Moose and Z. And also they hatched a new original called Play With Me Sesame from Sesame Street. And more originals started appearing after that. And it's now 2004. And Blue's Clues got a spin-off. And Oswald gets thrown into the land of forgotten. But 3 new shows come out of 2004, which are probably the craziest shows of all. One day, Go got wondering when he'll get more airtime. So he got a spin-off called Go. And also 2 other shows came out of 2005. Wow Wow Woodsy and Jack's Big Music Show. And it's now 2006, and a new show called Wonder Pets aired, which was also aired during my birth years. It was the first show I ever watched, along with Dora, Blue's Clues, and Backyardigans. But sadly, a lot of shows went into the land of lost, of forgotten. It's now 2007, and a new show called, and they only got one new show called Yo Gabba Gabba. In 2008, a new show called Ni Hao Kai Lan came all the way from China to be here. And so did the person that brought him here. The cartoon that brought him here. They decided to make their own block called Nick Jr. Presents. Basically their version of Cartoon Network's show, What a Cartoon. But Peppa Pig was the only show that got a full-length show. One day, Nick Jr. decided to get a rebrand and launched their 24 hours a day block. And also, a new show decided to release their first live-action cartoon called The Fresh Beat Band. It's now 2010, and they just made a new show called Team Umizoomi. Personal favorite. And also another one called Dino Dan. And also a channel named Sprout began to rob their shows, including Lazy Town. But they weren't sad. They decided to cheer them up by making a new show called The Bubble Guppies, basically a human version of SpongeBob. Sadly, Mutant Z retired in 2012. The show started to get less interesting, but some of them were good, like this one, but most of them were terrible. One day, they hit the jackpot with a show called Paw Patrol, which still airs at the 2025.